What is going on? We are doing something a little bit different today. As you can see, I've got my phone put away. There is all going to be canned stuff here. We're looking at videos, and I've got a special guest on the call for the first time in the history of my channel, and that is Mr. Caesar. Caesar, are you out there?
What is going on, guys? We have finally got some of the results in, actually all of the results, and we're going to start showing you some of those videos today of the SEALs op solo contest. Been running it the past couple weeks. It just closed a little bit ago. Basically, the first videos we're going to show you today are some of the runners-up, some of the honorable mention videos in our solo contest. We are gonna basically, we had a solo contest, mostly advertised on Discord in the Reddit community, but we tried to get it out there to everybody, and it was basically the best solo on an operation base of choke point or higher. And some of the things you had to kind of make sure you included in that solo entry were it had basically, obviously had to be a solo, had to be choke point or higher, and you had to use the hero in some sort of way. So we wanted to see heroes in there.
Now, you guys had and by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with Discord, I'll put the link in the description below. But you guys had quite a few entries, I believe, and we're gonna have to. The thing is, this video is a setup video. We're setting up for the top 5, so there's gonna be some extra housekeeping. I apologize. We're probably gonna run a bit long because we have to explain things like the judging panel and talk about the hits and how to enter and what the prizes are and all sorts of stuff like that. So please bear with me. And what I'll try and do is I'll try and put the timestamps of the actual attacks in the description below. So if you don't care and you just want to see attacks, you can jump past all of Caesar and I's babbling. So Caesar, now you guys had how many entries did you guys have?
You know, we had to narrow down. I mean, we had several hundred entries, but you know, we had to narrow it down to some of the better ones. And just as a little disclaimer here, you guys might have seen some better solos out there on YouTube, and you know, these might not be these first ones here might not be the most rock star, top notch solos of a bass that you might have found perusing around the YouTube. But first of all, the one thing about some of those ones you guys see out there is, well, they didn't enter the contest. So, so basically, this is a kind of a small corner of the Boom Beach community, and these were most of the entrants, if not all of them, were from kind of our little community on Discord, which is a.
Let's not sell these attacks too short, though. I mean, there's some good hits here, and they were over a very short time window. Like, these attacks had to happen over, what was that, a week or 2 weeks or something like that?
They only had 2 weeks, and you got to figure that if you don't hop around too much to different task forces, if you just stay in your own task force, you're only running one op in every 24-hour period. So you only get one chance per day to get an entry set up. So.
Assuming the rest of your task force is totally fine with you taking all the solos, of course.
That as well, yes.
Which is why you become the leader, so you can just tell them, I'm taking all the solos, right?
Exactly. That is exactly the way to do it.
How to have an empty task force 101. Okay, so I think we've got enough of the YQ PC2 screen up. Actually, no, I've got it on all the screens. So I'm totally whoring myself out to the SEALs team, YQ PC2. But I'm gonna get our first honorable mention. And by the way, these are in absolutely zero order. This is not a countdown from 10 or 11 to 5 or something like that. These are just attacks that Caesar sent me, and I put them in order based on the order that I downloaded them. So if you're attack 1 or attack 6, you are still an honorable mention, and you are still a wonderful, wonderful person, probably, hopefully, maybe. So, attack number 1, honorable mention to Mr. JRD from Reddit Whiskey and Reddit Whiskey Academy and Whiskey Juniors. Basically, JRD is whiskey, it sounds like.
Yeah, JRD is pretty much a representative from the whiskey family. And the thing I liked about this solo, like I mentioned earlier, is that I wanted to see solid use of the hero in some way, shape, or form. And I think this particular attack captures a really, really nice use of the hero.
Yeah, he crushes it with Everspark. He does many, many things well with Everspark. So without further ado, let's get to that attack. And just for those people who are watching, we have canned attacks. These we can't scroll the screen. We can't check ranges. We're just watching a recorded attack that has been submitted. So if the videography isn't up to par or something like that, you need to take it up with whoever recorded it, because all we've got is what's been handed to us. So please don't shoot the messengers. Well, maybe shoot Caesar, but not me. So let's carry on here. Okay, JRD on choke point. And this is looks like a big boost. Looks like he's got 4 troop damage. No, maybe 3 troop damage, sorry. But first off, marking. Always good when you see someone drop GBE before they drop any troops. I always love that. Okay. He also presses the remote there at shore, which is awesome. Carry on. Go ahead, Caesar.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, yeah, he's going to start the Everspark walk, and I especially like the smoking here. These first beginning, smokes as he walks up. He doesn't waste any space by doing too much overlapping.
Yeah, his overlaps are perfect. Now, I would have maybe liked to see a gap smoke to be absolutely perfect, but his spacing worked out absolutely ideal because he got the remote out without using that extra smoke. So he actually did the ninja move and dropped the remote and then the smoke, as opposed to smoke, remote, smoke. So saved some GBE there as well, which is pretty badass. Now, the shock launcher goes down, and he does the smart thing and uses the remote on that top rocket launcher. And here comes the kamikaze double tap, as my task force has nicknamed it. I don't know if you have other names for it, please let me know. But that's the name that I'm going with because it's fun to say, primarily.
Yeah, I like that move right there. The double tap move, and you get both of the defenses. Usually in that situation, you're not really worried about your hero making it much past that point.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he has basically used the absolute minimum number of GBE to this point. I can't think of a way that he could have saved any GBE on this walk so far. I mean, he used the minimum number of flares to get the shock launcher. He used the minimum number of flares and smokes to get there. So, I mean, so far, this is essentially a perfect use of Everspark, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And then he's going to finish it off, pretty clean. He's going to drop his Zukas and take a...
Here they come. Come on, Zukas.
Take a little walk up top.
And obviously, and again here, he's sacrificing some Zukas to use a 1-smoke landing. So he's still pretty lean on the GBE front. There's no extra overlaps, or he hasn't wasted any smokes or flares or anything like that. So pretty clean.
Just a nice.
And one of the consistent things we're gonna be seeing in all of these attacks, I believe, is the 2 smokes at the end. It's so critical to have good coverage when you get to the kill zone, for sure.
Yeah, the double smoke is a key factor when you're setting up on the core. And here we go onto the core.
There's a nice one shock core hit, which is pretty nice, pretty sweet setup. Obviously, if he tried to take this core down with those rocket launchers and shock launchers still there, he would not have been able to pull this off for sure. So the Everspark basically made this attack happen. And then it's just burn through the core and say goodbye. Burn through the shield, I should say. And critters. There's some ranges. Anything else to add before my video jumps to the next? Uh-oh. Fuck. Encoding overloaded again. Let's, next time we see that warning, we're going to have to... And for those of you out there that, assuming this video makes it to the light of day, we recorded a 50-minute video yesterday, and it all went in the garbage because my setup was not good enough. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and we shall see if that pops up again. And if it does, we'll cut bait and do it again, because that is exactly what Caesar and I both want to be doing on a wonderful Friday morning.
Exactly. We have nothing better to do than sit and record hours of video for you guys
for the
watch.
Garbage. But I'm all for recording videos, but not when you go to play them and there's nothing in them. That is very, very heartbreaking. So anything else you want to add about JRD's hit here? And now I'm guessing that this is in the honorable mentions strictly because, I mean, Straight Attractors is usually, or Strange Tractors as some people call it, is usually a solo. Yeah,
Strange Attractors, in probably at choke point or around those levels is usually a solo, but it was just in this case, it was just a really clean solo, and the use of Everspark factored in a lot right there, especially with the double tap on the rocket launchers, good smoke spacing, and it was just a really clean overall solo. So now, and I just wanted to throw a shout out to JRD. JRD PM'd me to say that his goal was to not be last. So congratulations, JRD. You have not come last. I think I managed to steal second last, and I think you said last place was given to someone who didn't even submit a video. Is that right? Yeah, last place we're gonna have to give to someone who just submitted a screenshot. It was just a screenshot of a core blowing up. So we just can't really give much higher than last place for that one.
So yeah, again, congrats to JRD on not finishing last. Maybe it's time to adjust your goals up a little bit and top 5 next time, perhaps, Mr. JRD or Jerd, if that is how you like to pronounce your name. I'm really hoping it's JRD though, but no vowels. I'm not going to go with the Fabi or the Jerd. So next up on the list is Mad Max.
Quick intro to Mad Max.
I'm going back. Yep, go ahead.
Little quick intro for Mad Max. Mad Max is a beast hitter. He's on I guess we'll say semi-retirement right now. Although we've seen him in SEALs quite a bit. Hitting ops with us, and I know he's been bouncing around to the German task forces and around the Tricon family, and he really likes to hit ops. I mean, that's Max's main thing, and unfortunately we didn't get to capture one of his best hits, but this was just a very clean hit that we thought we'd throw in there and give a little shout out to Max in general and his just his skills about soloing bases.
And that the peace sign up in the top right hand corner is him piecing out of grinding intel, and I think he's was trying to cut down on some gameplay, it sounds like. So I tried to throw the emojis up there as best as I could to copy the Discord names and stuff. So well done, Max. You got me digging for emojis, which is one of my favorite pastimes at the moment. So let's get going. And this is Excel on Dead End, is that right?
Yes. This is an Excel solo.
Okay, here we go. Now, what have we here? We've got mine clearing, barraging. And as you can see, some of these videos were submitted with 2x mode. Some of them were in half times mode. Oh, gosh darn it. Let's change these settings on the fly. I just got one more warning, and that is driving me nuts. Bump to bump. Okay, what do we got happening back there, Mr. Caesar?
He basically did a group under one smoke, basically straight path right back to where he cleared the mines. right to the core. Critter, shock, shock. And
looks like he missed the shock on the bottom rocket launcher. A little bit of danger about to happen.
Didn't quite catch that bottom rocket launcher, but still goes down due to a solid troop damage setup and a little bit of battle orders there.
Yeah, oh, and Andy manages to catch that rocket launcher before it took out too many of his troops for sure. Just a reminder to check the video description for a playlist of all the videos with no pausing or editing or commentary. So Max blowing up the core, and there goes the core. So hopefully that one has me nervous for video quality. I'm just gonna give you the heads up there, Caesar, because it doesn't seem to like Max's video for some reason, but hopefully it came through. And if not, then I'm just going to have to blow up my computer and do it for the next one. But, and be very, very frustrated. But nonetheless, well done, Max. And, again, of these attacks that you're going to see, these players, I have seen all of them do better attacks than what we're showing here. So this is not an indication of their skill so much, but it's showing that with a limited window, there are not a lot of times or attacks and personally, I missed about 8 solos, it feels like, during this window by about 10,000 health, just because trying to get an attack for the sake of an attack just adds a little bit of stress, I feel like, or something like that.
Yeah, a little bit of extra pressure, because you got to get the whole thing down, as opposed to, you can leave a little bit of health and somebody can just come in and just clean up and hit the core like in a regular op situation.
And for me, the fact that you wanted, you guys, your task force or the judging panel wanted you wanted something special from the heroes. I found that I was trying to do non-standard attacks, and I'm guessing these guys were also doing things that they wouldn't normally do potentially, or trying to do something that was too awesome or something like that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. The only reason I included the hero, or we included the hero in it, is just because, the hero is now integrated into the game, so I didn't want to see people just, not using it or leaving it on the beach. I did want to see, people actually bringing it along and, using it for, to the best of their abilities, with it. So next up we have Ryan, who is Mr. PSC from Discord and from the Tricon family, and he's gonna, yes, and also if you don't know who Ryan is, pretty much every meme in the Discord community in some way, shape, or form has to do with Ryan or his base or his amount of power crystals that he has,
or his baby face, or
his general appearance.
General appearance, indeed.
So basically, we got this one here, and pay special attention to the path on the way back, which is what we thought was actually pretty cool.
I think Ryan only gets honorable mention due to his following on Discord. This attack is fairly average at best. It's just not terribly good, I don't think. And that's fully sarcasm, by the way. I love this attack. This attack is very, very good. And again, you'll notice that he's using GBE before he drops troops, and I can't stress that enough to people who are watching who aren't at the soloing level quite yet. Please use your GBE before you drop your troops. It just shows that you've thought about what's going to happen. Okay, so we've got there's no flare drop. Save some GBE there for certain. And this is why you don't remove that front cell if you're a lower level player. Please don't remove that front cell on Waterloo or Titanic or any of those other bases that have it up the front there. He's going to hit that mine, I think. Yes, he is. Look at that. And so there's nice gap smoke there, too.
One of the things that I really like here is he doesn't panic when he walks over a mine, and you can see all those Zukas that are barely breathing at this point. But the basic premise there is whether or not they have barely any health or full health, that most of these defenses they're going to be dead either way. So so there's really no sense in wasting a med kit under the smoke on the way up because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and that's definitely a veteran play, not using a med kit. I mean, 90% of people would have had a med kit waiting at the final flare just to heal those troops up when there's not a if he misses a shock here, a med kit's not going to help him at this point anyways. So if he saves it till later, he might get half of an extra volley or a full extra volley or something like that. So very veteran, very, very chilled choice, and very well done. For sure.
So he's going to park just north of the core, and there come the shocks and the critters and the battle orders.
And those mortars are crushing him regardless if he has a med kit or not, obviously. So
and boom.
And there goes the core. That's a great hit. And this Waterloo path is one that every time I see it, he threaded the needle through about 8 mines there that any one of them would have ended his attack. So very, very well done.
Good job, Brian. Good job.
And the sound on this video I had to intentionally delete because whatever Ryan used to record made my ears bleed numerous times. So that's my gift to you, watchers. I have removed the audio on this one. Let's skip to the next. Next up is Surge.
Surge is another member of the Tricon family. Pretty solid hitter. He's been to SEALs several times and done some real nice solos for us. Here's just a fairly clean one here. Just a fairly clean one here that we liked.
Now, when you say has been to SEALs, hopping to SEALs was a requirement of this contest. Is that accurate?
One of the number one things, just to make it a little more fun, is that we wanted to have everyone at least run one op with SEALs. You didn't have to do your solo in SEALs, but just to come visit us and see what we're about and hang out. And most of the people, if probably all of the people that you will see here on these videos have been in SEALs many times. I mean, they've done more than their share of visiting SEALs and helping us out with our own ops on our own home court. So
now you're we'll get Surge Rock in here. Now, I just to be clear, I had zero part in anything to do with the judging, but I'm gonna deduct a point for his landing just because that is his landing triggers me a little bit as the guy who really likes 2 smoke landings, and I think he uses 3.5. So I'm gonna deduct a point for his landing here, but I have zero say in this contest. I was given the pleasure of recording with Mr. Caesar here. So my minus 1 point here that I'm going to give has no bearing on any judging whatsoever.
Yeah, he does go with 3. As you can see, those rocket launchers are right up in his face there at the landing. So I think he was just being a little overcautious, just to make sure he didn't get vaporized on the beach right there.
Yeah, and obviously, when I'm taking away points from that, he obviously knows how many smokes it costs to get there, and he knows what he has and what he needs. So it's like the Machina landing where people use 3 smokes. If you have the GBE, it's not a bad idea. I just had to give him the negative internet point out of sheer. I just had to do it. I can't bypass that. So this is still a great attack.
Yeah, that's all right. So he's going to get his shocks out. He's going to drop the battle orders right here. And it's just, like I've said for a couple of these hits, it's just a nice clean hit. They are going to touch him up. He's going to get touched up pretty bad here towards the end, right before the core blows up, but he still gets the job done.
I would have given him that point back had all his Zukas have died for certain.
Yeah, I mean, or we didn't actually see anyone barrage their own troops at the end of the solo, which I was very disappointed with. I always love a nice
Yeah.
a nice barraging of the troops as the core is blowing up is always very much appreciated.
Yeah, that just to show off how much gold you have, barrage your troops.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Or how much powder you have, perhaps, because I know for me, if I can finish a base with troops left, it means that I can clear my map way sooner than having to wait the 48 minutes or 52 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, we have a current member of SEALs who is a very good player, and he likes to do the barrage at the end of the troops. Always a fan.
I can't do it. That takes too much time for me. I'm too damn cheap, I suppose. So
understandable.
Who we got next? We have Sick. Sick showing off a sick hit. Oh, dad joke. So and again, I haven't played much with Sick either, so I'll leave this one to you 100% of the way. I just know that he wields the lofty hammer on Discord.
Yeah, Sick is another main guy from the Tricon family. Good friend of mine, good friend to SEALs. He also does the All-Star streams as well. You see the guy on there. And basically Sick moves around. He's been in Tricon. He moves around, helps out different teams. A couple of things that I liked about this solo were he brings some riflemen to the party here, which a lot of people don't do. I just thought it was kind of random to bring some riflemen to the party on this solo. And I believe on this solo he was also unboosted, which also it's always even a little cooler to do a solo when you don't have to waste any of your powder and you can not boost.
Yeah, and then we had a little bit of debate whether this was a choke point or a curtain call, and you're saying based on your notes that you think it's choke point, but it's hard to tell from the screenshots because the screenshots for the current operation show curtain call. So we're going with this. We're going with this being choke point. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it being until I get confirmation. I think I'm gonna go with that. This is a choke point base. And then I'm sure after Sick watches this, he will send me a nice message saying, "What the hell, Caesar? That was a curtain call base." So if that is the case, I will publish a retraction in the next video of the Final Five.
Now, and this just shows like one more thing talking about how this isn't the best hits by any of these players. This choke, the fact that he's going unboosted and taking down a choke, a curtain choke or a curtain point base just shows that these guys have better hits, but they're either in retirement or they're helping out other task forces or they are doing setup attacks on Forlorn Hope or something along those lines. So once you're at that, they're probably you're going to see better hits on the internet for certain. If you take 10,000 hits, you're going to get some really, really good ones. And Caesar's taking the best hits of tens and hundreds, not thousands. So please don't comment with "I've seen that done better" or something like that. We're not looking for better. We're looking for if you can do better, submit to Caesar's next contest, assuming there will be more contests.
Yeah, we got several contests coming up, and hopefully we'll get a little more hype, and now with these videos we're going to be putting out here, and so hopefully for the next ones we'll have a lot more submissions. So.
And yeah, and then again, I'm trying to balance the yes, these are good with the yes, they can do better. I don't want to take away from these attacks. These are all very good attacks, and they have some interesting parts for certain. And Sick, I have not seen this landing before by already. Video doesn't not like Sick's land video either. So clearly Sick recorded at a higher definition than Ryan, and my computer does not like it. So I'm going to pause. Yeah, we're good now. I'm going to pause a few times here just because I really don't want to redo this video. And I love talking to you, Caesar, but I don't want to do this a third time. So
no, I'd like to go. I'd like take two here. I'd like to be our good to go video here.
Yeah. So now he drops his rifles first. Now, a little bit of backing up here. Again, this is just attention to detail. He didn't drop all his troops at once. His rifles were dropped marginally earlier than the rest of the troops, which just gets them walking and lets them become cannon fodder or sniper fodder or whatever they may be here. Is that a term? Sniper fodder?
Yeah, it's all single shot defenses right here, so we're not worried about any splash damage, any rocket launchers or shock launchers or any of that nonsense, wrecking large amounts of troops.
Now he's picked up, what's that, 18 GBE for free there, and he's moved up the shore a little bit, and he does not flare or smoke until all the rifles are dead, which is pretty damn clever, because now he only has to deal with 1 speed of troops plus brick. He's not adding rifles into the mix.
So he's going to do a nice little group up here and get ready for the walk to the back. And there they go. And that walk
to the back is that's the standard flare. That's where you want to flare. If you're not familiar with Axiom, please use this flare. Everything he's done so far has been on point as far as things that are good. So please use that flare. And again, nice overlaps here. He's got a little bit of overlaps, but not a lot, just enough to keep his troops safe, essentially. And I'm intentionally pausing every time I see the video not being happy. So, in worst case, I can just pop these videos back. I can just overwrite these videos. So that's not a huge concern. I probably should just keep going, but I'll do that from now on. Here we go. I might have to do some magic editing as long as this all comes out. We're good though. So. Here we go. We've got Sick with, once more, the 2 smoke finish. Always the 2 smoke finish. Please use the 2 smoke finish. You don't necessarily have to use an extra smoke, but just drop your last 2 at the same time, pretty please. Now, what's he got? He's got 7 boats of Zookas left, give or take a couple, probably. Is that right?
Yeah. We got rid of those riflemen, so we used a boat there. So yeah, I believe that's probably the case. It doesn't look like he lost too many on the way back.
And one of the things that he does here very well that I can never seem to do, just drawing from my own experience, I always get touched up by those flamethrowers that are sitting at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or whatever you call that. And so his flaring here was very well done. He didn't lose any troops to the flamethrower. Bit of a spoiler there. So let's get the video back unpaused. And 2 well-timed shocks.
Dropping the battle orders to get that core down quick. And
the critters are coming in for the insurance policy.
Bonus critter there, and boom.
So very nice hit. Well done, Mr. Sick. And yeah, I mean, just not many complaints there whatsoever. Now this is the last hit, right? I think this is the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one. For this video, we've got Loki, or also known as Stormtrooper. He is he's in several of the Reddit teams. Reddit Smoke. I believe right now he's helping a newer team called Reddit Fire get off the ground. Loki's a real solid hitter. He also does some of the All-Star streams, so you might see his face on there if you watch those streams. This was a dredge solo, and he actually didn't go from the angle on the left-hand side. He went the long way around on the right-hand side. So if you guys have seen it, you guys have probably all seen the angle from that corner. So we're gonna watch. He goes the long way around, which is also a very cool way to do it.
And this is one of the few videos that you've got with Everspark not using her remote and just using her critters as ways to farm GBE and keep the troops alive, essentially, right?
Yeah, he brings Everspark here. Yeah, basically just for her critter ability to to keep sporadically dropping those critters and chew up some of those cells on the way around. A little bit of distraction and to help get those cells down a little bit quicker when he makes his way across the top, getting ready for that final push there from that short gap over to the core.
And then you can see in the bottom right corner that there was a bunch of critters humping on the cells, so he's getting some extra GBE from them as well, which is always nice. I'm pretty sure this is an unboosted hit. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe this is not boosted. This is looks like a lower dredge here, so I don't believe he's boosted. So always brownie points when you can make this stuff happen and you don't have to boost. And here it comes smoking.
And there goes there goes Everspark, R.I.P.
Everspark is dead.
Yeah.
And then he's
I've got about 3 minutes left I've got about 3 minutes left, Caesar. So I'm going to pause here. Can you tell us now that there are prizes for your contest? Is that right?
Yeah. What we did is we had a lot of cool entries this time, and you guys are going to see the top 5 coming up. And when you see the top 5, the difference between number 1, which was the number 1 attack that we picked, and number 2. We basically decided that it was a very, very slim margin between number 1 and number 2. So what I decided to do is give out a second prize. We're going to go with first place is going to get a $50 gift card to the Google Play Store or iTunes. You can contact me for details about which one of those two would work better for you, depending on obviously what device you have and how you want to use it. And a poster of the operations map. So when you look at the operations map and you see all the different operations, it's going to be a gloss poster of that map. Now for second place, which was originally going to be first place, we are going to go with the $25 gift card to Google Play Store or iTunes.
So you basically tripled the prize pool.
Yeah, basically. I really want people to enjoy doing this, and I want people to have an incentive for doing these sort of contests. And a lot of people, like we talked about earlier, are retired or semi-retired from Boom, and I just can't let that happen. So if I have to go into my wallet and make some contests and make some prizes to encourage people to play the game, then I'm just gonna have to do that.
Well, here we go. So I'm gonna unpause here. He's got critters out. His smokes are about to expire. The rocket launchers haven't turned towards the critters yet, so I must have paused it at the right time because those are about to wreck them. But there's the shock. The shocks are out, and just a nice hit. And the way the core is going down makes me think that it's not boosted as well, just because he would have melted that otherwise. I think.
Yeah, so, exactly.
But a great hit. So let's go back to here. We've got the seals screen up on the video now. All I can say is thanks for doing this, Caesar. Running contests out of your own pocket is ridiculously awesome, and you're not getting you're not getting Boom Beach kickbacks, and you actually made the posters out of you actually photoshopped the poster and had the posters printed yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, the poster that I made, I basically with the help of some people in Photoshop and some friends of mine on Discord and a local print shop, I basically created that because there actually is not enough Boom Beach swag out there, in my opinion. So I've actually started doing little projects and making different posters and signs and stuff like that. So you guys can also stay tuned for, in the next contest. There's going to be some really cool signs that I've had made that'll be, future giveaways and stuff like that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Caesar. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I've got to cut it a little bit short here because I've got a conference call starting in about 1 minute. But thanks for coming on. To everyone out there that's watching this, thanks for tuning in and checking these things out. And hopefully this comes out well, because I'd really like to get more guests on, but there's a whole bunch of things that have to happen in the background for this to happen. And hopefully this comes out well. And if it doesn't, then I will put a whole ton of work into it, and the top 5 will be 400,000 times better. That sounds about accurate. And Caesar, I think I really appreciate talking to you. I think this is the Caesar YouTube grand reveal, is it not?
Yeah, this is my first time ever doing anything with YouTube, and I'm gonna do stuff in the future. So thanks a lot, guys.
Perfect. Cheers. There's my call right there. Thanks a lot, Caesar, and peace.
We're out.